fellow collectors, and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at Core Class Optimus Prime from Transformers Kingdom War for Cybertron Trilogy. Right off the bat, love the artwork. I think it looks really, really cool. Nice artwork of Prime. Plus I love this whole like scorched earth, molten lava volcano backdrop they have going on for Kingdom. All the press shots kind of have like this cool set they built. It all looks really, really neat. You can see the Ark just kind of hanging out on top there. I always thought it crashed into the volcano, but no, apparently just perched on top, no problems. Taking a look at the back, you can kind of see they have kind of like a cave painting motif going on here, which I think looks neat. The green's very colorful, robot mode, vehicle mode, so not too much going on there. But yeah, really like this packaging. I really do. Now, originally when I heard that they were going to be rehashing these evergreen characters in the core class, like Optimus, Megatron, Starscream, after we just got them in Siege and in Earthrise, I was a little skeptical. I thought I was originally going to pass. But then, you know, Amazon got these early, and I decided, what the heck, let's try it out. So I'm at least getting Prime. I don't know about the others. I might get that Bumblebee they revealed recently, because he comes with a little spike, and it might be neat, and he can kind of hang out with my Optimus here. I'm not sure about Megatron or Starscream, but let's be honest, I probably will. What I'm really hedging my bets on, we know that there's going to be some kind of Arc Transformer. We've seen it in that kind of giant mural picture they did where like all the characters are in a battle. So I'm assuming that there's going to be a transformable Arc that is the like Titan class figure for Kingdom. And if that has any kind of playset capabilities, the core class figures would probably fit really well with that. So that's kind of what I'm hedging my bets on. If it turns out it is no playset capabilities is what I was trying to say, it's going to turn out that whatever, I bought a couple toys for no reason. But sometimes it's fun to just have like a desk buddy, someone to just kind of hang out and be easily transformed back and forth. So we'll take a look at Optimus and we'll see how it goes. I'm going to go ahead, without further ado, get him out of the packaging here and we'll take a closer look. Here is Core Class Optimus out of the packaging. For the most part, I think he looks pretty cool. Robot mode definitely resembles Prime. They did a nice job. Paint applications, I like the silver down here on the shins. In the torso, the painting here for the windows of the cab look pretty good. Autobot symbol. Face looks pretty good. The eyes are painted. Nice silver face mask. The little head crest piece, whatever you want to call that. So, like, I definitely think the sculpt is nice. I wish the smokestacks were just a little longer. Not a lot, just a little bit. But for the most part, the only part that really bugs me is this piece that hangs off the back here. How this works for the transformation is this is going to flip around and this is going to be the front wheels of the cab. I wish there was a way, this gray piece right here, if it had a little hinge right there, not even a hinge, like a swivel, right about here you could swivel this around 180 and then push it up. And then the wheels would still be in the same place, but these would be up here. And I feel like that would just seamlessly transition into his back. And then you'd have no kibble down here. I understand it's just a tiny core class figure, so you're asking a lot, but it's really distracting to see those pieces hang down there on his hips. And they do hinder articulation a little bit, not a ton. You can really kind of have it go all the way back if you want. Only some poses you can't do, but just looks weird, just looks a little off. Articulation wise, head can swivel from side to side. Ball joint in the shoulder, so you got a nice range of movement there. Ball joint in the elbow. Nothing in the wrist because they fold into the forearm. Nothing really in the waist. He has this kind of swivel here in the chest, but that's really part of the transformation, and you'd have to kind of lift this up. But then I guess you could swivel around a little bit there if you move the arms out of the way. He has kind of an unintentional ab crunch because of the transformation, so you got that going. He does, of course, have a ball joint in the hip and a ball joint in the knee, and then the whole blue foot, or part of the leg, whatever you want to say, is one solid piece. He doesn't even have an ankle tilt, I know. First toy since Siege not to have an ankle tilt, but it's kind of built in. So all in all, just as a little Prime figure, he looks pretty good. He comes with his rifle. Looks good. You can see he's got a little port here on the side. You can actually peg this into the side if you want. So I don't know if they're going to do a bunch of accessories mix and match between all the core figures. Because they're obviously not the same size as like normal Battlemaster pegs or Weaponizer pegs or anything like that. It's not that size. But you do have a little bit of mobility there. If I bring in Vertebrake that we took a look at previously, And although he is a Predacon, and probably would not lend his weapon to Prime, a little stuck in there actually. Can he hold this? I'm not sure. Let's see. Yes. Well, it looked like he was going to be able to. Yes, there we go. So you can mix and match the accessories between the core class figures, it would seem. That's kind of cool. I like that. And you can see they're about the same size. I would say Vertebrake looks a little bit tinier than Prime. But it could just be how I have them posed. But that's kind of neat. I like that they can share the weapons. It does seem like it doesn't really want to peg in, though. Can I peg it into this peg on the side here? There you go. It's kind of neat. So let me see if I do the reverse stand. I'm assuming he can hold his weapon. Yeah, see, his hands are bigger. So when you look at these weapons, you can see the tiny nub would be for someone like Prime. The larger piece is what he holds onto. So when I put this in his hand, he holds onto that larger piece. So that's interesting. But he can use both weapons. So that's kind of interesting. He might even be able to hold on to Battle Masters and things of that nature in that size. But Prime definitely can. His hands are definitely tiny. But yeah, pretty cool. Let's go ahead and get into the transformation. Transformation, pretty simplistic. You're going to fold the hands into the forearms. And it's kind of nice. You'll see that they're actually painted red so that they kind of all become one solid piece there. So as you flip this around, that side's painted red. It's actually a nice touch. You're going to peg the feet together like so. You're going to fold this part back. You're going to bring this down, flip this piece back. Oh, I'm sorry. You're going to fold the head into the chest, then cover it up with that. Then you're going to rotate that at the waist like I mentioned earlier. Then you're going to flip this piece around to finish out the front of the cab. There you go. And then, like just about every Optimus Prime toy you've ever seen in your life, you're going to fold the shoulders back while rotating the hands into the side of the cab. It is a tried and true Prime staple. And then you actually have these tiny pegs underneath. You can see one right there. And there is a peg hole underneath there, so you want to just kind of line that up and peg that in like so. It's a little awkward, but eventually, once you get these pegged in correctly, I mean, you don't honestly have to. It's not like it's going to come apart if you don't. There we go. So there you go. There is your tiny cab. Now I will admit, I think it's a little too tall. I feel like it looks a little out of place. The proportions are a little off. Like if it was to here, I feel like that's a little better. But I don't know. I feel like this is just a little too tall. Not a big problem, but just looks a little off to me. You can see the little spot right there. If you want, you can peg his gun in there. Or you can actually see that there's a tab on the side here, and there's a tab underneath here. And you can peg that in on the side, which is kind of a neat idea. And this is why I wish that the smokestacks were just a little bit taller, because they look really short in this mode. It's not as noticeable in the robot mode, but in this mode, it's a little too short. So, again, not terrible, not great. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like the cab's a little too tall. Just a little bit too tall. So yeah, at the end of the day, Prime's alright. I mean, if you just want a fun little transforming Prime for $10, he certainly fits the bill. If you've already got several other Prime Legends class or Legion class or Core class, whatever they're calling it these days, if you've already got a bunch of Primes, then you could probably pass on this guy. I do think he looks pretty good in the robot mode. He does. I just don't love that kibble hanging off the back. I really wish that they would have done something to spin that around and just fold that up into the body, so didn't have that just hanging off the back, because I really don't like the look of that. But I think the head sculpt looks great. I think the paint applications are good. Articulation, pretty much what you'd expect for a figure this size. His rifle looks good. there's a lot of positives here. Like I said, he can be fun. There's one or two things I would change. Mostly just I wish that piece on the back rotated, and I wish the smokestacks were just a little bit longer. Other than that, I think he's pretty cool. And the cab's a little too tall. But in any case, like I said, maybe wait for a sale. If you got to have him right now, I don't think you'll be disappointed. I think he's fun. But there have been a lot of different primes. I would say the last like major core class or Legion class, whatever you want to call it, prime, was that one that they did in the 2-pack with the like Minicon Target Master type thing that they did into like Huffer and Pipes and Nemesis Prime. I think this one's better than that one. It had a very similar transformation, and he had kind of a big plate on his butt, so I do think this one's a little better in that regard. And plus, I think this one just looks more Optimus. That one kind of had the weird shoulder pads and everything, so in that regard, I think this guy's better. Like I said, if you want a $10 Optimus, I don't think you'll be disappointed. He's actually pretty neat. Just not perfect in my opinion. In any case, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, thanks so much for watching.